now we'll move on to our film reviews, and I have with myself Zarif Alum. So Zarif, a pleasure to meet you
Nice to meet
for
you
the
as well.
first time. So it's quite new, quite interesting, and I'm really excited to hear from you today.
I'm very excited.
So you've brought with yourself, I think, 3 films.
3 movies, yeah.
3 movies, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about them, the title, the genre. Let's see if I'll be interested in watching.
I think let's just give the names for all 3. 2 superhero movies. We have Superman 2025. Then we have The Fantastic Four First Steps. And then the 3rd movie is a Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. Let's start with the first film then, right? So for a lot of comic book fans, this has been the holy grail, essentially. James Gunn, as the director, has done an excellent job at bringing Superman alive onto the big screen. And for a lot of people, this is the quintessential Superman movie. It represents hope. And as a character, if you're well acquainted with Superman, you know that he represents, peace and aspirations and the Starman in the sky that represents hope for humanity. And I think David Cornswet has done an excellent job as portraying Superman on the big screen and acting as this symbol of peace for people to watch and enjoy.
That's quite interesting. So for people who aren't acquainted with Superman, would you say that it's still a good
I think
film?
it's still an excellent movie because it actually focuses on Superman's early years, starting off as, well, Superman.
So from zero, right? Just like the entire...
Not from zero. So it's like he's had a few days in, or a few years in as being Superman. But it is still an insight onto like the early days of him as a superhero. So it follows him, having to deal with being an alien on Earth, having to deal with society's persecution of him whilst he wants to protect them, whilst he loves them from the bottom of his heart. So it is a very interesting movie, not only for comic book fans, but also people that, just want to...
Because the themes there are quite interesting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Amazing themes. Nicholas Hoult done an amazing job as Lex Luthor as well. So people that want a film just to enjoy, whether they're comic book fans or not, I think they would enjoy Superman 100%.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Jurassic World as well?
So Jurassic World Rebirth. For a lot of people, so this one's more disappointing than Superman, but I think I'd still talk about it because obviously the Jurassic franchise as a whole is beloved by many people. I think at least many of us have watched at least one of the movies, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. There's a lot to enjoy from the series. So the 3rd movie wanted to be this sort of more, not horror, but it wanted to return to the roots of the series, more spectacle of dinosaurs chasing, like that fear you feel when you see something looming over you. That kind of primal instinct. It wanted to incite that, but where the movie falls flat is I think it's tried to do too much. It's brought in too many plot points. There's something about smugglers wanting to take dinosaur DNA for some reason.
So it's a bit more confusing
Yeah,
now.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think sometimes stories should just be best simple, right? They should be left as simple as possible. And the movie suffers, unfortunately, because it's tried to do too much in too little time.
Is that the plot-wise? Do you think like there's too much going on plot-wise,
I
or
think plot-wise.
graphics-wise?
No, I think the CGI is fine, but it is definitely the plot. Because essentially there's 2 main plot lines, but they kind of merge over time.
Yeah, but is it hard to understand that, like, as you're watching the film?
No, it's not hard to understand. It's easy enough to understand. It's just that it can't do what it wants to do with both plot. Like, if you have, if you're cooking 2 dishes, for example, but you're trying to juggle them at the same time, it's obviously going to be harder to do that than just do one thing, but really well. And I think that is where the movie falls flat, unfortunately.
Okay, so that's interesting. So would you recommend this to viewers? And if so, should they
I think I would still recommend it to viewers just because it is part of a massive franchise, and obviously there is still enjoyment to be brought out of it, right? Who doesn't like dinosaurs, really? It is like a beautiful spectacle to see. But I think, I wouldn't say it's an excellent film. I'd say it's a decent film, right? But not like one I'd go into expecting.
Would you still prefer Superman then over?
100%, yeah.
100%. So even for like non-comic book fans, you're saying Superman's the one.
Yeah.
But Jurassic World does kind of fall short plot-wise, but otherwise it's still got the...
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, I think it'd be more disappointing for people that enjoy the franchise because there were a lot of expectations.
More,
yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
So for them, it's probably a bit disappointing that it's kind of
fallen flat.
Fallen flat there. And the 3rd film, a bit about that?
So that was the Fantastic Four First Steps. So Superman's obviously DC, and then the Marvel Cinematic Universe is where the Fantastic Four comes from. I think it is a very good movie because the reason being, if you know literally anything about Marvel as a whole, it has gotten very confusing, right? To understand the plot of one movie, you'll have to watch like 20 different series and other movies as well. But like the name suggests, because it is the introduction of a new sort of entity within Marvel, it's very palatable to view. You know, you can jump into it, watch it without any experience on Marvel, and still understand it just as much as someone who's, you know, who reads all the comics, who has watched all the movies and all the series. With other movies in Marvel, you know, you would honestly have a lesser experience if you don't have experience with the franchise beforehand. But with this one, I think anyone can watch it.
So say, for example, I haven't watched any kind of
You
Marvel
will still
film.
understand it.
I can still go in and just, I'll fully understand it.
The movie has enough exposition on characters. It goes into, like, you know, context regarding the characters as well, context regarding the scenarios and situations that the Fantastic Four, you know, Reed Richards and his family have to go through. And on the topic of family, it is actually more so a family movie under the guise of a superhero movie, because the action really isn't, you know, fighting per se, but it's more so how Reed Richards, a father, has to deal with a threat, and when the threat can only be resolved by sacrificing his family, he ultimately has to, you know, juggle those two things.
Oh, so there's a theme of family now.
Yeah, there is a theme of family.
Yeah.
There is 100% a theme of family. And it has the theme of family is prevalent within the Fantastic Four. So I think if if you're not keen on action, I'd follow the Fantastic Four's progress through the MCU as a whole.
So this is like the very first of like a new...
First steps.
Yeah, first steps. So it'll be easy for any kind of viewer to go in and say,
it'll be very
I know
easy.
what's going on. And would you say out of all these three films, which is the one you would recommend the most?
So
definitely?
I think me personally, I'd recommend the Superman movie. I've complimented it a lot, but truly it is James Gunn as a director. Everyone loves him within like their franchises, and it is very well earned. He is a very good director, and I think really the two star actors, David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult, they've brought Superman to life, and I think it is an excellent step for the DC cinematic universe as well, because previously a lot of the movies fans of DC and other people as a whole haven't really enjoyed, because it betrays, you know, like the comics, the origins of the characters, and also like they're just not enjoyable to watch. I think this movie is a fantastic step in the right direction for DC, and it's an enjoyable movie as well, and it has great themes, so it's just an all-round good package.
Okay, that's really nice. So would you say that's just because your preference is DC, or is it just
you'd
recommend it to
I genuinely recommend it to anyone. I think it's a good movie to watch. It has great themes of, you know, perseverance and hope, as Superman represents, and also like, you know, the idea of we should protect other people, we should help other people as well, and ultimately it is that ideological battle, you know, of hope and perseverance versus this sort of more capitalistic, greedy, and power-hungry Lex Luthor. Superman versus Lex Luthor, that I think makes the movie very enticing to watch. Okay,
that's quite interesting. So for our viewers, you'd say you'd recommend Superman the most?
The most, yeah.
And I think for the viewers who are Jurassic World fans, they might be a little bit disappointed with this one.
I think they might be a bit disappointed with the Jurassic World movie. But I would still recommend watching it, because, you know, no harm can come out of watching it, really, right? Like, you might waste your time, but...
It's still like a continuation of the series.
Continuation of the series, yeah.
And for Fantastic Four, you'd say perhaps...
I still would recommend it as well. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Zarif, for your time today and for giving us 3 very honest reviews. I think,
it's been a pleasure.
Especially for Jurassic World fans, they'd be quite interested to know, you know, how's the third part looking, how is it going to be? And I think it's a quite honest and very humble review that perhaps for the viewers who might be a little bit disappointed, they're thinking, oh, I still should give it a shot.
Yeah.
So I hope all the viewers have noted down the 3 films and have heard Zarif's kind of honest reviews about how they're looking.